Welcome back, guys. Let's not fucking waste our time on this bullshit. Welcome back to the Trash Trades, everyone. It's VJ's turn with the little malicious, horny little trade right here. VJ's been impatient to show us this shit. He was like, "Please,
Holy
Luca,
shit.
please, I want to show my trade." And I was like, "No, next week."
That's definitely not how it happens.
I was banishing
the VJ
VJ.
fans definitely know that's not what happens.
I was banishing VJ and the VJ fans in the basement. They've been banished. Anyway, here you go. Are we rolling the intro, VJ? Do you want to say it? Do I want to say it? Who's gonna say it?
We're not gonna ask you how you're doing.
Oh,
classic.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm doing all right, VJ. How are you doing? Spinning back.
I'm all right. Yeah. You know what's funny? Everyone wanted to be on the show. Then we ask, and they're like, "Oh, I'm busy, Papa." No, I think they're actually busy. But it's hilarious.
No,
so,
we got some people.
Anyone wants to be on the show, let us.
Anyone at all. Anyone at all. Give us one. Please. We're just one person.
Picky. We'll be very picky, but we have no reason to be. God, feels good. Yeah, but I'm doing well, man. Let's get this going. You ready?
All right, roll the fucking intro.
Order filled.
I waited like 5 seconds.
Okay, you know what? That was a little better for the wait. Anyway, let's not fucking keep commenting.
Wait.
This is like the fourth episode in a row that we're commenting on the wait after the intro noise.
I know, but don't overproduce now.
I'm not overproducing.
Was that too long though?
Or was it too short? I think that was perfect. I think that was a little too long, tad too long.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was thinking it was like 5, but I don't do the count. I freestyle it, you know? Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does. Not like this trade, though. Actually, no, this trade actually does make a lot of sense. It's very funny, but it makes a lot of sense. It's actually not that trashy, but it's so funny for the show.
Okay.
Because I've been, I'm trying to avoid trash trades, so my trash trades are going to be more interesting. And then if they're downright bad, we're going to have some good content. So, guys, here is price. As you can see, it's going up.
Wow.
I took shorts, the end. Okay? But since we'll make a short story long, as I tend to not do, as I tend to do, it's my specialty. As you can see, we're in a long-term market maker buy model. I don't want to go any higher, guys. It'll give up the goose, as we know. Goose and the gander and the slander. So we have consolidations here and here and here. And we had these sell models going in, but it looks like, we're coming to at least this consolidation high. Will we go here? Will we go here? I don't know. The likeliness that we're drawing to this sexual point of liquidity right here, one of my favorite levels because I caught this model down. 468. 75. I dream about her sometimes. Well, that's neither here nor there. I don't want my girlfriend that doesn't exist to hear about it. So we'll keep it going. So we're getting here. Yeah, it looks like we might go down. And we are pretty extended. But this is the draw. And I realize that. But, we play intra-draw. So this is the daily, maybe monthly, weekly buy model target. But, I play the hourly too because, I'm crazy. And I'm a prop firm baby, so sometimes you can't hold for days. And what I mean sometimes, I mean every time. So, we're here. And it's classic 9 o'clock hour. Look, this potentially could be our classic New York Judas, right? So what's my classic Judas loss? My Judas loss is just assuming that this early move in the morning
is fake.
Is fake. And this draw is not here yet. We're probably going to need something like this. And we did have all this sort of liquidity here. Even this high that might need to get swept, but this order block is sort of enough. It's untouched. It's strong. Break a structure. Racked them. Yeah, this sort of got us there, but I'm thinking we get down here. Finish the sell model here. Easy peasy. Could be, a relatively equal high that we're making with this. We did sweep these, prominent highs made over this day. This is previous day high. But I feel like we're probably going to go to, previous day low, wherever the fuck. Oh, right here. I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is. I'm just thinking short-term play.
I'd
So as
agree
you can
with that.
see,
At a first glance, I see those equal lows. I see that order block. I see that little bit of rejection. I mean, I really feel that it's pretty bearish. The only thing that I fucking really dislike is that big ass high that we got so close to sweeping.
Yep. So I should clarify this. So I was already in a trade beforehand, classic 930 legend trade.
Damn.
And
Legend trade.
Yeah. I'm that guy. And I think I took an entry in here somewhere. Yeah. Like I think I took one here and then put a stop down here, and I was looking for this order block as and this high right there to be taken. But really, once I saw the order block, I was like, "See ya," right? And yep, it went quickly and it did its thing, and we got like a nice I was like, yeah. I took 2 micros up here for like 70 some points. Done. I think I might have even had like an auto trim here, like 2-1 or some shit. So I'm like, cool, we're good. Like, we're going to come for here, but I got my first trade. I'll hit my other one on the other account a little bit later. This is pre 930. This will probably retrace and do some stuff. And then I'm like, hey, actually, this is sort of like the Judas move. And I always fall for trying to play this classic continuation. So it's likely to reverse. And like, we'll probably need this and then we'll go up. Yeah. That's what happens. That's what I do, So I zoom in. I often will catch reversals on the 1 and the 5 because the 1 will give some clear, as you can see, right? Like some short term highs set up right below this untouched PD array, and then the tap. Very nice looking. Ooh, broke structure here on the 1.
Damn. Okay.
Re-broke again. Okay. Just looking pretty nice. All right. Hold on, guys. We're going to be patient about it. We're going to be patient as shit. I'm not taking entry. Look, there's an RDRB on the 1. It's there. Let's look at the 5. Yeah, man. Inverse this 5 already. This one seems to be disrespected. Pretty clear draw. Let's do this. Almost 2-1. We're just going to rack this quick out 2 micros. Probably be done in about 10 minutes. 20 minutes in, I'll be done for the day. Maybe take another trade on an eval. I don't really give a fuck about. Let's see what's up, guys. Okay, we moving. Staying patient. The low is still there. Oh, tagged in. What's up, bitches? What's popping?
Damn, I dislike that little break of structure type of thing. Not fully, but
not fully. But I mean, I'm looking at my long range, trade idea. Okay, I don't want to go too far ahead, but we're here. This is an order block, clear change of structure here on the 5. We came down here. We made relatively equal lows. Come on. Are you kidding me, man? Relatively equal lows. Are you fucking kidding me? Didn't get into this order block. Maybe even need to take out these lows. Are you kidding me, man? Easy target. Are you kidding me? You're not feeling it?
I'm half
You just know it's
a
trash trade. You just know it's a trash trade. You gotta admit. You would have probably entered in here.
I think if I would have entered, BJ, I think I would have entered at that order block and taken a chance.
Which one?
For that hourly order block. Really, I would have probably bought a 1 day.
Yeah, but this is a patient. But if this is correct, Luca, I agree with you, right? This is like a turtle soup entry. It's a fantastic entry. But if this is correct, this is just showing extreme patience and allowing myself an entry model to confirm this. So shut the fuck up, because this is just if you would have entered, then you believe where it's going to get delivered.
Yes.
Here, or here, or something, right? Like these relatively equal lows look good. They were made at like 830,
Oh,
which
I
is a
do
nice
like
good
that.
price, right? And then we
Yeah.
have like probably an order block. Like, okay, we probably get to here. But yeah, this is simple. I'm just gonna go for the quick 2-to-1, leave a runner, maybe, but like one trim, two trims. What's wrong with that? Great trade. Great trade looking. Super sexual on the one, right? Just so patient, just so fucking patient. Just let the fucking targets hit. Who gives a fuck? It's probably fucking absolutely just not give a fuck. And just staying the most patient of all time. And just staying the
Whoa.
most patient of all time. Just staying absolutely the most and I'm stopped out.
Whoa.
And where do you think it goes? Ta-da! That's magic,
Wow.
guys. Hey, Luca, as some of the best analysts as we know on Discord that ever could be, no one had any idea it was going there.
I'm honestly in
By
shock.
the way, I did long and catch this once I realized what the fuck was going on. And I said, oh my god, trash trade executed perfectly. You see this?
Ooh. Oh, I do like that. I do like that.
Ooh-wee. So I realized I was off base. That for once, this the Judas was just this, and it was just going, and I was like, ah, shit, it got me. And the shorts, by the way, let's just keep it real. The entry was so nice, and this should be noted, okay? If you're really waiting for good entries, the entry was so nice that I could have got over a 1-to-1 for like 15 minutes. And I was just be like, nah. And just
Wow.
refusing to I was just trying to be
Any trims?
so patient. The safety trim here would have helped.
But you didn't.
But I didn't because I
Oh.
remember Luca. I was like, the read is getting a little bit better, and I should just like hold to the target if I'm holding for these things because the 1-to-1 RR may be fucking me up. In this particular case, would have been fine. And this is the thing: safety trim should be happening when it looks really shaky. I did notice, by the way, that we essentially filled this whole fair value gap, and then we were in like OTE of even like, hold on, it's not the right range. Yeah, of this right here, of this 15-minute low in here, I knew instantly, and I was like, wow, the bodies are staying up. I was like, shit, it's done. And I was
Wow.
like, yeah.
You know, BJ, I feel you really. Damn. I think this is one of the rare occurrences where you really did not do anything wrong, except for the fact that maybe you shouldn't have taken the trade because on a higher time frame we were stuck in between two major liquidity levels. So it was really
Mm-hmm.
unclear which it was going to
I
sweep
I
first.
agree. Also, it's jumping the gun a little bit, thinking, but I was just thinking like we're gonna go sweep this. I was thinking, okay, this is a version of IRL, right? Order block. I was thinking IRL to hourly ERL, which is this
Yeah.
hourly low, right? So I'm just like, I was just very convinced in more of this type of retracement. We come into here off of this low. I was just seeing this, not. I don't know. I just thought that we were going for that just because of how the 930 Judas gets me. And remember, my most common loss is literally playing what actually happened. Like I'll be like logging here and just and then just actually do what we said or just go down lower. So I was trying to avoid a trash trade essentially. You know what I'm
You
saying? And
know,
even here, look at this. Like it's hitting this 5 minute fair value gap. Like, come
yeah,
on.
you really, BJ, honestly, I'm actually quite surprised because you did a lot of things right. In fact, in a very kind of very bullish environment, you still did manage to nab a perfect entry for shorts. It's just I feel you didn't take any safety trims, and you're very insistent on your bias.
Yeah,
But
I'll be. Yeah, I was
other,
doing more of the Tom. Like, let me just not even like. I'm gonna just chill and let my bias play out and not overthink this. But then when I saw all of this happening, I was like, fair value gap, order block, taps into here. I was like, this isn't fantastic. And then I started doing this, and I'm like, oh yeah, all of the down close candle being respected. I was like, aha, this more looks like aha, yeah, yep. Like, but I was
yeah,
already, it was already like hitting my shit. So I was like, but the thing is like, I go in a reasonable position, like. I'm usually trimming it like a 2-to-1. Hence the reason I was insisting on here. Here is just like what I sort of noticed. Like I just have to be more right when I trim down here. Remember, we were talking about risk reward ratio a lot recently because of one of our friends struggling. Primarily, one of the main reasons being that. And it's like, yeah, taking these 1-to-1s make my second, if I only have two positions, 2-to-1 trim, make the whole trade a 1-to-5. Do you feel what I'm saying? If I just wait for the 2, it makes it the 2-to-1. Then I can withstand the 33% win rate to be break even or more. But if it's 1-to-5, then it's more like I think it's like closer to 40. I mean, we could do the math. I'm right off the top of my head, can't do it, but you see what I'm saying? So I was like, I'd sort of like this to work better for me. But I was probably overthinking it a little bit because this is pretty warning signish right here when we're. Here, let me delete this. Sorry. When we have this high and then we start breaking above it, and then like we just starting to make higher lows, and then we break above again. Now it's like super sus. On the 5, yeah, the way that this fair value gap in the body is like just painted a little bit under and then stayed up. Even this order block body, all of the bodies are above it. You see that? I'll draw it for it.
yes, I did see that.
So it's like, I mean, I should have done the other way. So it's like, this is a lot of confluence for long. So I saw it quickly. Especially here, you could almost take like an entry off the inversion of this. I think that's what I did when I got stopped. I can't remember. Oh, no. Because I got stopped up here. There's some entry past there.
Honestly, I feel like
Oh, is this? I used this as an order block after I got stopped. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
this is actually going to go, or I'll just take like a really tight stop here. And I just took off.
I feel like VJ, in a lot of cases, you really didn't do that bad. Like if you redraw your entry, it was actually pretty accurate. You know that entry at the 0.5 fib. All the Luca fans are yelling, right? They're going, your fib, your order block, your liquidity. Technically, that's a good entry, and waiting for that, that move to play out. Excuse me. Because to be honest, I really feel the red flag in that type of situation was all those relatively equal highs that we started forming along with your entry. I feel like honestly it
that's a good
would.
point.
What I tend to do, VJ, is
Mm-hmm.
as soon as it starts to break structure. So I kind of have my own Luca rules and whatever, my own analysis. But if you're on a long term 0.618, like we are, if you go to the hourly, it's a complete 1618 618
Oops.
type of fib retracement situation. So you want a sharp
Wait, which
movement.
hourly? I'm sorry. I'm trying to
Draw the
find what
from
you're
the
talking
order block to the low, the hourly order block or low.
about. Oh,
The
like
hourly.
here to there?
No, the
Or
the
there
hourly. Yeah, there
to here?
to exactly.
Go on, keep going. Sorry.
But that fib around there, around the 618 or whatever, I always vouch. I say if it's on a higher time frame and you're looking for a smaller time frame entry, in this case on the 5 minute, like VJ previously showed us, that 5 minute time frame entry should not hit the 618 again. Because if it hits the 618, it's likely to sweep higher and continue and break the whole thing. If it hits the 618 again, it's in bullish order flow, and it's most likely going to take the high. So I feel in that
You're talking about
situation,
the second one.
I'm talking about the retracement you bought short at. So, and it was perfect because it did not hit the 618. It only hit the 0.5. So it really it hit the 0.5, and that's the fast execution downwards. It would have been the second stage of a like a it would be the start of a distribution stage.
So you're
Because
saying if it hits the 618 here, it should go higher?
yes,
Usually?
yes.
Why? Because this you think it is the 618
Exactly. If the
or the
long term
715.
bias is correct, then as soon as we hit the 618, we should have a very sharp movement downwards. So sharp that we shouldn't hit a 618 of the initial, when the initial draw was met. So as soon as I hit the 0.5, straight away I was thinking, okay, my trade is valid. It's valid until we sweep that 0.5 high. So actually, I'd move my stop. Oh no, I shouldn't move my stop. We already talked about that shit. But as soon as it hits the 0.5, and it retraces into a 618 of the overall leg, I'm like, okay, we are not seeing that bearish order flow that I want. We're not seeing the sellers. I mean, and then I would exit actually pretty quickly. That's what I was thinking initially. So I really feel what you see and what I see kind of lined up there for your entry. Straight away, what VJ sees, which is very accurate and correct, was on the 1 minute or the 5 minute, he sees that fair value gap, right? We're rejecting that fair value gap. He took an entry, it's in discount, and then straight away he's looking for that the liquidity lower, the equal lows, or whatever the liquidity was, which honestly I vouch for. I feel like it's a very valid entry. I think you could have been a little bit more efficient when exiting your position, because as soon as it swept that high, it looks like we're gonna start breaking structure upwards, and that's a red flag that I would get out pretty quickly, if you ask me.
Yeah, I know. I could see that, but if I'm correct here, because that rule that you have, I don't have that as one of my rules. It's interesting of it retracing to the 618 of this being fast. I've seen it like sort of choppy deliveries be pretty weird. Also, a return back to a fair value gap is pretty common. So I'm not deterred by it coming back to here. This is like nothing. Actually, I sort of like it. The thing that happened is that it didn't go fast here.
Yeah.
This is okay, but once it sort of hung around, oh, this is too fast. Whoops. Once it did this and it didn't take off, that was essentially this is where I should
started
be
breaking
out.
a little
Or
upwards.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, like I have seen price delivery like this and to be right. It's just sometimes it is what it is. I think that what I needed to remember was that I was thinking that this is this is the 930 Judas, and then not seeing clean price delivery down should have made me rethink like, oh, is this probably just long from here? And even then, though, honestly, I think that like when you get stopped out, it saves you from changing your bias and just being wrong again. Sometimes.
Yes, I agree.
So it's just like, because now I'm like, okay, if this was really short, like we should not be hitting it like this, or we should just wick it or immediately come back in the range. This is not that. And then so it's like, okay, my long term bias looks like it's hitting. We still have 40 points. And as a matter of fact, I'm sure there's somehow entries that like form. Yeah, now that we consolidate, it's like almost for sure about to give an entry. That's probably it. Or it just depends, honestly. Probably wait for the 5. This is the swing low on the 1. Yeah, see, this is a 5-minute fair value gap, and this is 125. It gets pretty shaky here. These ones are tough. That's better if it hits an order block there.
I do feel that
5-minute RD Barbie. Yeah, but it's like you're so high in premium, it's not even worth
it. Exactly. Honestly, we started breaking that high at around the 618 sound. So, any more than this, we're in very bullish order flow. I definitely would assume a bit of a market maker buy model at this stage to sweep those highs. But honestly, realistically, VJ, I was kind of in shock at when you played that 1 minute of your entry and your trade on the 1 minute, because as soon as we broke down, I was like, okay, we saw that low, and then we started making equal lows, and then we started making a Pookle, and then we had a candle with no wick, and then we started building and building liquidity. I was very sure that it was most likely going to execute. I didn't
Yeah,
really.
but see, Luca. Okay, finish your point. But then, I forgot my other point when before going. Keep going.
But I felt that it was a very strong position at the time. Honestly, I don't really commend you for keeping your stop there. But at the time, apart from those relatively equal highs on in your direction where your entry was, I really feel that those equal lows that it established, sweeping lower, more Pookles, more liquidity on the downside. Honestly, I think it was a great trade. I feel like you were pretty unfortunate with this higher time frame, liquidity buys.
Sometimes you lose. The reasoning for this is somewhat sound, pretty sound. It makes sense. And honestly, like, it's so easy for you or anybody else. We have some like fans that like they must not trade because this is sort of what it is. In hindsight, you could absolutely say that. If my PT hit, everyone shut the fuck up. And so the reality is like so we know that I enter like often pre 9:30. Everyone says that's crazy. Here is a trade that went in. No fanfare. You know what I'm saying? No surprise. Because it worked, so no one has anything to fucking say. But then, when it's something to lose, after you've lost, everyone can say it. Pre this being painted,
Yep.
I could hear your surprise on how quickly it failed.
Yeah.
Right? And then you saw this happening. But, like, as you know, the fear that the market gives you while your position is going down, you're the one that has to judge if it's real or not.
Yeah.
You're the one that has to judge if you're going to marry it or not. And I decided I'm willing to marry it till the stop. And I don't need to do whatever. And, like, yeah, looking at it on here, it looks bad. I know it did look bad. But I had been getting, and by the way, it looked bad, and I was waiting for it to come and get these and then go. So this looks bad, but I'm not ready till this is done. It's not done. And then right here, it inverts the 5 minute. Pretty much here to here, I could have got out.
Yeah.
Okay? This, okay, maybe. But I already, sometimes you'll see candles like this happen and it just turns right around after it taps this order block. If this is an order block on a smaller time frame, which I think is. So it's like, there's a million fucking reasons why people will cut or stay in. But then, like, on the plays where it's going like, okay, we have we have people who we know who are like, yeah, if you get 5 points, just fucking take it. You get 10 points, just take it. Why would you hold for longer than 10 points? Because I get that, man. And they'll be like, wow, you took that to 70 points. Oh, and then you took a 28-point loss, and then you made it back, man. Why'd you take the loss? Because I trade, and it happens sometimes. So this is like, sometimes you have trade ideas, and they're quite good, and they fail. This trash trade is more just like, understand you lose, even though your idea is valid, and then react to it like a pro. Like, yeah. I did quite well to react to it. Now, after the fact, you could be, oh, I wish you moved your stop here or there. And then what happens when you do that, and then it moves straight to your target? Well, you had some trash trades that were about that, and the worst part about it is you didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Even though you maintained a break even, you didn't lose any money like I did. But here, I'm perfectly fine with this loss. Why? I had, when I entered, these were my parameters. See ya. I didn't do this. That's a win in itself.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't fucking panic. I waited for this, and then I had 10 minutes while it failed, and I could be like, this is looking terrible. You'll
Yeah.
hear me say that in losing positions. I'm like, this looks terrible. It's probably going to lose. And people are like, why are you holding? But like, yeah, well, I promised myself.
Yeah, I agree. Like I feel like in that situation, just to finish up, I feel like that in that situation, you really did well. I feel you did well on your entry. You did well to honor your stop loss. I commend VJ actually. This is a good representation of something VJ did correct. Was he's got stopped out and he reset and he changed his bias and he changed his mind. It's very easy to become stubborn in a certain bias or a certain direction, and you just keep on re-entering and re-entering and re-entering and getting stopped out and stopped out and stopped out. There will always be a reason to short in a bullish market or to long in a bearish market. It's good that VJ got stopped out in this sense, even though his trade was valid enough, because sometimes it just doesn't work out. We're in a market of probabilities. You could have a 90% win rate. Everything could go well, but the 10% is still going to come. It's about managing that 10%, stopping out and relaxing. It's fine, and it happens. I think VJ really did well in that sense.
I appreciate that, Luca, and you make a fantastic point. I will add this one addendum, which is something that I thought of after this trade, which I was like, this can help more. Many times, like this will be like my hard stop, and then this will be my discretionary stop if we close through. As you can see here, rather than having hit for like 28 points, 29 points on two micros, which is like, is very doable, especially having made almost 80 right before. If I just waited for this to like inverse and close, I would have chanced like a 12 or maybe 15-point stop. And then like, my take profit here, my safety trim, quote unquote, is a 2-to-1. And so I do feel like I see some of the better SMC traders do this, and if they just miss out on all the points, it's okay. You still got something, and your R is sort of like maintained. I do
Yeah.
think that the quote unquote safety trim that I do, like, I was checking my RRs on the accounts. They are quite good, actually. And a lot of it is because of stuff like this. Especially, I realize, like, when you have size, like, you don't necessarily really want to hold through this. If you bought here, yeah, you can hold to here, just break even or slightly negative ones out. But if you're buying like in here, essentially you're buying because you think this is going to hold. You can
Yeah.
allow for this wick. You can even allow for a wick up there. But once it starts like that last minute, it's like starting to close here. You pretty much got to know, all right, we're probably going to have to take off and then just come back for another day. Because, the speed on which the price delivers shows the institutional element. Right here, you see the price deliver quickly. So
Yeah.
when you were talking about speed, you're absolutely correct. But just sometimes it consolidates before it takes off. So here it's like, it's going to tap and then really take off. I should have sort of known, though, because this is like too long. 20 minutes down here. And then, like, once it did this, yeah. So I appreciate you committing for the stop. That was my plan there. I should have been used the discretionary stop method as well as like the backup, which I tend to, which would have made the safety trim okay. So even if I stopped out with the rest, it actually would have been like break even or maybe even slightly green. Oh yeah, it would have been actually green because I only had two positions in.
Yeah.
But
You
honestly,
could
I
have
feel like
improved.
both ways were fine.
You
I
could
feel
have.
like both ways were fine though, to be honest.
I
If you
agree.
said that was your game plan, that's your game plan.
Yeah, and it
If
happens.
you, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, honestly, I feel like it's a good trade because sometimes, like, you really did well. The majority of things right. Maybe you could have tweaked your exit or, your safety trims. But I really do think that I feel like the moral and the thing we should really push for this episode is sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yep,
And it's how
exactly.
it's how you react to things going, absolutely your way. Every box is ticked. Every one of your rules is met. It's just sometimes you gotta protect yourself in those situations. It doesn't go right. You know.
Yeah, to add to that, just real quick before we do, I actually think that's like one of the main things that I've ingrained myself recently.
Yeah.
Ingrained with myself, especially once I got rid of the free evaluations. That's like just take take responsibility for the trade that you take. Meaning, if you're gonna take a trade, like stand behind it and the reasoning. Like I stand behind this in the reasoning. Time of day, when I anticipated going, why I stopped out where it was, why I entered where I am. It makes it much easier to just deal with. It makes it much easier to also know that you're going to take trades the other way. It'll be fine. And if you have an RR, my RR rule being closer to 2-1, then you could take more losses than wins and be perfectly fine. And then when you really understand that, and then you really understand, I'm taking the best of my TA, I'm doing my best. Weird things like this will happen. This still could have absolutely gone here, just gone here, and then gone there. That happens. And I could be absolutely wrong and still make the money. So you have to just allow that to be the case and just take 100% responsibility. They're like, yo, I entered the trade. I'll allow myself to lose. It's okay. And not be afraid of winning or losing. And that is essentially will sort of set you free once you're like, I'll allow my TA to come in. If for some reason you saw this move up here and you're like, I need to come in at this order block, and you're just waiting for this retrace and it does this and it hits your target before the retrace, that's fine. Your entry didn't happen. Go eat a sandwich. It's literally, there's nothing to do because many of the times your entry is going to happen. And maybe you just need to learn some more entries and make whatever entry here potentially possible for you to get involved with. But you have absolutely nothing to feel bad about. Who gives a fuck that other people may have made money, or you could have made money in some fictional world if you knew more shit, knew how to trade better? Go learn, improve, and only enter the models that you have practiced and back tested and understand that they have some sort of edge for you. Then when you only interact with those, you interact with them in the right areas, enter in the right areas, exit at the right areas, will you not have to be afraid of whatever the market does? Because it's going to cause you to lose sometimes, it's going to cause you to win sometimes. But if you have a plan and entry model and rules, an exit model and rules that you stick with, then in reality the fear is just fake and sort of just a sign of being a novice, and you just now need practice to get used to that. If you are not doing that, you don't have rules, you are not patiently waiting for your entries and your exits for your business model that revolves around trading to win, there is nothing that could save you besides, God, when he decides to make you lucky. And honestly, he does that on accident. He has other better shit to do. You fucking loser. I'm talking to myself. Love you guys.
Thank you guys for watching.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Shit. I'm supposed to do the outro, huh? Fuck. All right, hold on.
Oh, you're good.
As a wise man once told me to say at the end of the show, thank you guys for watching. We love you very much. All right, guys. Honestly, I'll do a little bit better. Luca, fuck it. We appreciate all the love that we're getting on Instagram. That's like where we're popping off the most. Our TikTok, hey man, you guys there? Our Twitter, hey, you need more infographics or something? We trying, man. And on YouTube, who's watching? Please like and subscribe. Please send us some comments. Please send me a note. You can absolutely send me sexual fucking harassment type of stuff. I'm legal, and Luca will be in 10 months.
Yep.
He's ready for it.
I'm ready.
We'll get him in a suit. He'll show the fucking more energy ass underwear. No problem.
Oh, yeah.
100%. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Luca, you got anything to add?
Nothing else to add, guys. I appreciate you guys. See you next episode.
Oh, my God. We'll kiss you. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.